We're recording. You're listening to the Tune Up and Jam podcast. Ready? Go.
This is episode 3, Tune Up and Jam podcast.
Tune Up and Jam.
All right, tune up, turn up, get down, and start jamming. Once again, hello and hola. It's the Tune Up and Jam podcast. My name is Rich, and I am 1/3 of the Diggum crew here in the Altadena Sound Studios. And with me here is the other 2/3 of the Diggum crew. On my left, it's Chris.
Hola.
And on my right, it's Francis.
Hey.
And directly across from me, we have Leahlani. Leahlani is here in the studios with us. Hi, Leahlani.
Hi.
She's a local musician from the Valley. And with us will be soon also Leahlani's uncle, Seth Blumberg. He's coming live all the way from, where's he coming from, Leahlani?
Bangladesh or Dhaka. I don't know.
Okay. From the other side of the world, yeah?
Completely other side.
Completely other side. Now, let me just say something real quick. I said hola at the beginning of the podcast there, meaning hello in, do you know what language?
Hawaii? Hawaiian?
I think
I don't know.
Spanish. Aloha is Hawaiian, yeah?
Oh.
Aloha and then
Well,
hola.
then I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, I thought you said
don't-
hola.
Hola. Hola.
It's confusing.
Sounds
Hola.
like
They said holla.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. Maybe my accent isn't very good. Hola. Hola. Whatever. Spanish. And in episode 2, I actually said ahoy.
Ahoy,
And
that's what you
ahoy,
said.
yeah. And I meant to.
Yeah.
Isn't
I
that
meant
like
to.
for a pirate?
Well, that's
Ahoy.
very interesting you say that because many people believe that it is, and yes, that's where we learned it from, but also the official hello for the language of Slovak and Czech in the countries of Czech Republic and Slovakia. So,
I
little
know.
lesson there too. Ahoy, yeah. That's
Thanks,
hello.
Rain Man.
So, got that.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, anyway, so we are doing our thing here. We had said that in our mission statement that we wanted to connect and educate and promote young musicians and music makers and music supporters. And here we have Leahlani, who is, how old are you?
I'm 10, turning 11 in July 21st, but I think we're celebrating it on Saturday, not Monday.
So your birthday's on a Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't have that. We
No.
got to celebrate.
That
on
doesn't
Saturday.
matter. It only matters when you celebrate.
That's
right.
Well, I mean, it would be summer break.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be okay to do it on Monday. I'd like it better on Saturday.
It still feels good on a Saturday for some reason, even in the summer. I remember those days.
100%.
Yeah.
We had the great pleasure to actually have Leahlani come and sing with us at one particular point a couple of years ago down at the aforementioned beach house. I should say aforementioned
Yes.
off the air.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a marvelous talent. Leahlani, what can you tell? When did you start getting into music?
The minute that happened, the minute I sang at my mom's wedding. I mean, right after that, I was like, okay, I think I did good because everybody's cheering. So I was like, maybe that's my talent. Because after all those years, I've been just focusing on dancing. I started dancing when I was 2. And I really enjoyed that. But until it got to the wedding, I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to be doing.
I love it. That's a great
And I
answer.
remember the one time right after that wedding, I'm like, you guys are becoming my band. I thought that was hilarious. And I still look back to that memory.
So whenever you're ready to tour, let's do it, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
We're
that
here.
So
would
that
be
was your
a
first
long
time ever singing in front of an audience?
Actually, yes.
Really?
That was the first time. And then I think later on that year, I don't know. I think it was the next year because there was talent shows at my school.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in 2014 talent show. And this year I was in it. And I sang Someone Like You by Adele.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And how did the audience like it there?
It got very emotional.
Really?
I messed up at one part and I cried and I walked off stage, cleared myself, ran back out, and everybody did like a standing ovation, and I thought that was really awesome.
Well, let's start over a little bit on that right there. Right now, Leahlani's in 4th grade, and aside from obviously her music class and everything else, she's going to school
course.
Of course, naturally.
Think of the Katy Perry moment that she said. She said, kids, go to school, finish school, and then become and do your talent. I was like, okay.
Nice. So
I mean,
that was like
Do
Katy Perry.
you need education to have a career? And then I thought about it. I'm like, you probably do. You got to learn.
Well, you definitely, having an education, the great thing is like money in the bank. Even if you don't use it at one particular
Still
point in
need
your
it.
life, you might need to fall back on it at another point in your life. So it's always nice to have an education to go with. But in that right there, what's the response of your classmates? Do you have any other classmates that are really big into singing or music?
It's actually kind of funny. I wanted to go to this. I am starting a band. And so my other friend, Natalie, she was dying to come to this interview. I'm like, maybe next time. So we started a band. It's called Paradise Girls. And I have 2 songs ready.
That is
That's awesome.
right now. I'm a little flat. I knew kind of coming in, just from the many times that I've met you and hung out with you, that you were going to be a great interview because you're personable and everything else. But I love to hear kind of getting out there and really pushing it. So Paradise Girls, right now it's you and your friend.
Definitely right now. And once probably we get in middle school, there will be bigger moments to grab a friend, say, hey, do you know how to play the drums? Or, hey, do you know how to play the guitar? Maybe we can play it. And since I'm learning how to play the piano, and she says that she knows how to play the piano too, and she's learning and doing it, I was thinking that was really cool. Like, maybe I could be the piano player / singer, and so could she.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and who is going to be in charge of writing songs? Do you have ideas to write songs?
Actually, she is so good at writing songs. Like, she wrote this one song. I'm not really supposed to talk about it, but it's called Falling in Love, and it's so good. It literally, the minute I heard it, I'm like, you stole those lyrics. She's like, no, I wrote them. I was like, well, they're so clever. Like, how? And then I told my mom about the song, and my mom's like, her talent's about writing. It's about writing music and stuff like that. And then that's where we picked off from starting a band. And since I like to write too, like my favorite singers, I'm mostly into R&B, Beyonce, Rihanna, Ariana Grande, Stevie Wonder, India Arie, a lot of people that are all R&B people. I don't know, there's a certain type of lyric structure that they use in their songs that it's like grabbing. It's either the beat or their voice with the beat, or it's either the lyrics. And lyrics do grab people in songs.
That is an amazing list of performers, musicians for a 4th grader. So let me ask you. Probably that's a little bit atypical for the normal 4th grader. What got you into listening to all those kind of music? Stevie Wonder, for instance, or
I also like Michael Jackson. I left that out. He's like the big thing. I started listening to that when I was around a younger age, probably 5 or 4. I got an iPod, and there was music on it that my dad put music on it, like. And there was so many songs. There was Rihanna songs. There was these songs and these songs. And when I was in the car driving here, I heard the song Stronger by Kanye West. And that's the song that I had on my iPod. And so I thought back for a minute. I'm like, wait, that's from Kanye West? And I was like, how could I remember that? I'm like, it's a little flying creature through the space in this galaxy cartoon creature. And I was like, wait, I think I remember now. And then, I don't know, I just really like that song. It's probably, honestly, one of his best songs that I think.
Cool.
Nice.
Leahlani, I wanted to ask you, have you been learning how to like read music and stuff like that too? Or
I'm learning theory.
You're learning theory?
Yeah, theory. I'm hoping to graduate. I have a piano teacher. His name is Seth, just like
Seth.
my uncle.
No kidding.
Yeah, he comes every Wednesday, and he teaches me how to play piano, and he bought me a theory book, and on this yellow journal, he writes my homework down, and I get pages from the piano book and from theory. So I haven't really been doing my theory pages right now.
Uh-oh.
I got new theory pages from Thursday, so yesterday, basically.
And you obviously seem to enjoy that very much,
I
yeah?
love piano. I don't know why. Oh, and you know who else I left out is Alicia Keys. I think she was one of the people that wanted me to start playing piano. Because the songs, her first album, that's the only thing I could think about. Like her with... And my mom's like, you know what she does is the minute she has lyrics that she found, she goes on her piano and finds just the back chords to the song. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, band, do you think you could play this? And then they play it, and they make this whole music, and it starts off from a piano, from whatever it is, from a violin, from a guitar, anything. Music starts off from... Honestly, music starts off from your brain. It comes from there. The lyrics come from there. The ideas for the instruments come from there. The liking of what type of music or what type of lyrics you like and how you like to explain things. Like, there's one way to explain the ocean is blue. How could I explain that? I could say the ocean sparkles like the moonlight.
Very poetic.
That's more... It's more descriptive for the lyrics instead of just saying the ocean's blue. It's sparkly. That's one thing that I like about a lot of Stevie Wonder songs. He's very descriptive with the songs, and he likes to describe things better instead of just saying a random thing. But he likes to put more feeling into the words.
Oh, absolutely. Stevie Wonder, huge influence, and I love to hear that he's still an influence.
Definitely.
To kids this age. And I can't help, of course, when I hear you of thinking about your mom and thinking about playing music with her, not when she was 10 years old, but when she was 18 years old, and the passion and everything, and it's
yes,
it's very nostalgic to sit here with you and listen to you speak about it, because you can hear her influence in it.
You can hear me actually saying what's coming out of my mouth and what's so, amazing. But, sorry.
Mom has had a lot of influence.
Yeah.
A lot. She's helped me through everything, through every
that
moment.
iPod actually came from Mom.
Yeah. This is, by the way, this is John that you're hearing in the background. John is Leahlani's father.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. We're glad to have him in here as well.
It's a pleasure.
So, yeah.
So is there any chance at some point that you would sing a little bit of one of your songs?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
whenever
awesome.
Like
you
now?
want.
Like now?
Sure.
Really?
Mistakes I'm still working on, but Tiger Spirit, maybe I could sing 2 paragraphs of it.
Okay, now, what's the name of the song again?
Tiger Spirit.
And did
Do
you
want me
write
to-
this song? Did
I
you
wrote
write the
this
lyrics?
Song.
You
I
wrote the
the
lyrics?
Song. My mom helped me.
And the melody? Who
The
came up with
melody,
the
I'm still trying to find on my piano.
Okay.
I actually have a lot of songs.
But you have it in kind of your mind? You kind of have it written in your mind? You hear?
I memorize a lot of it, but I think I should just do 2 paragraphs.
Is it something
Verse
like
1
that?
and chorus.
Is it like something you hear in your mind first and you're just trying to figure it out on the piano? Or do you want to try to figure it out on the piano?
No, what I do is the sound of the words. Like if I say Tiger Spirit, I could think of da-da-da-da on my piano and then try to find maybe a higher chord that maybe goes to that, or a lower chord, or the same chord as it. And so that's basically how you start off. You think of the melody of the words and the song, of how you want it. And also, it depends on how high you're going with your voice. Like, the chorus can maybe be stronger, and so maybe you want your music to be stronger when it comes to the chorus. So that's basically how you start off a song.
I like it. She put a lot of thought into it. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. Was one of the intentions of this podcast, is to introduce and give opportunities to young artists. And so, Leahlani, when you're ready, sing us a song, girl.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, we're who we are our own star. No one can stop us from who we really are. We are the flowers and the sun in the sky. We are the sparkle from the ocean light. Light, dun 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 dun. We're a tiger spirit, yeah. And you will see, yeah. You better believe it, 'cause we will show you what we can do. And if you don't believe us, you're still gonna see us with the tiger spirit.
That is awesome. Great job.
Nice job.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, let me remind you, 10 years old.
My friend is probably gonna be hearing this right now, being like, "Oh my God, this is a song that we made." Be
That's
like,
great.
"Yep."
Hopefully.
10 years old, 4th grade, right? No backing track, nothing that helped, just bam, step up. That was awesome. Great job.
Yes, and also every morning, you know how I say my music teacher told me, the first thing that comes to your mind will be this or that. Sometimes in the morning, I wake up and all of a sudden I think about lyrics. Like one morning I woke up and I thought of the lyrics, whatever you do, I will come through for you. And I thought that was very odd to think about. Like the minute I woke up and was like putting my clothes on, I was like, wait, this makes sense. Whatever you do, I'll come through for you. Then I told my friend, she's like, that's very, very weird to think about. Like, what song would it be called if we put that in a song? So, we're still figuring it out.
That's music.
And
So
I-
Music.
When you have those ideas, do you write them down
Yes.
right away, or do you record them?
Because
Or?
I will lose it. I will lose the lyrics. And if I lose the lyrics, I'll be like, darn, that was good lyrics. And now I'm just blanked out.
That's
very
great.
smart of you to do that, because probably many, many great songs have been lost because people didn't write down what they had in their mind. So you're starting really early and getting those good ideas down on paper.
Yeah.
Nice
Good to
job.
start early. It's good to start early because, I mean, like, for a very young age, for different people that are very young and have talents for singing, you might be right now amazing, like, so good, but the minute you start and get older, your voice comes even more powerful. Like, I bet you Christina Aguilera had a great voice maybe when she was little, and now look at her now. She's rocking her voice out, and that's all she does. She has that raspy voice, and one of those voices that will just grab your attention.
In fact, she was a child singer. She actually
Definitely.
grew
Disney.
up
Disney,
in
too.
Pittsburgh, where I grew up, and she used to do the national anthem for the Pirates games, the local Pittsburgh Pirates
Really?
games. Yeah,
It's funny to talk about because I just had an Olympics at my school.
Did you?
And yeah, I'm in chorus at my school, and so I thought was really funny is they brought so many people that were famous to the Olympics. They had the Lakers cheerleaders. They had an old Dodgers player there. They had the president of the Olympics company thingy, Majiggy. And they had a lot of people. They had a lot of people there that like, and they brought. Sorry, this is super funny. They brought a one-time award Grammy winner.
One time.
And he did, honestly, I
One
feel
time.
so bad. One
Why did they
time.
introduce that one?
I feel so, they're like, and here comes the one-time award Grammy winner. Da 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 da. I'm like,
That's when you just say Grammy Award
Right.
winner,
Yeah,
right?
right,
I mean,
you should say just Grammy award winner. No, one time. Okay. And anyways, his voice wasn't.
But you know what? I think I'd take it. I'd still take it.
His voice was
One
good.
time. Why not?
His
this,
voice.
is, this is a question. I'm
Better than
sorry.
one-
It's
This is a
one
question
hit
that we got
wonder.
to ask Seth about, who's also a one-time Grammy Award winner.
Let's see what he
Make you
says
pay for
about
the
that. Anyways, his voice was good, but not like that good. And so I thought that's why he got one award.
That's it. This cat's getting called out.
That's his case.
Just don't say any names.
We're not even going to mention names right now. That is
No,
awesome.
that's why I'm not mentioning games.
Good
I
for
mean
you.
names.
Hey, Leahlani, can
Good thing I'm not even mentioning my school because they'd be like, "Oh my god, that's the school that I went to like last
Yeah.
week." Oh my god, she's mentioning me. What do I do?
We'll let it be a mystery.
So we're going to get into
Mystery.
right now something that we're doing with guests. It's the lightning round.
What?
Are you ready for the lightning round? And I don't mean like the outdoor thunder and lightning.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
early.
I'm sorry.
We
There's
happen to
no
have
way
actual
I'm
lightning
stepping
outside,
a foot
yeah.
out there the
The look
minute.
on her face was, excuse me?
Yeah, we're not going to wrap you in
No,
aluminum
it's not
foil
gonna
and send you
happen.
outside. No, that's not
Do
going
you
to
want
happen
me to get
tonight.
struck by lightning?
No.
No, the lightning round is actually, we're going to ask you a series of questions. We're going to,
Okay, I'm
Rich and I are
ready.
going to fire them back and forth, and you're going to answer the first thing that comes into your brain.
First
Okay.
thing
All
that
right.
comes into your brain.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? Okay. Here we go. What's the most recent song that you chose to listen to?
Stronger by Kanye West.
What song do you like, but you don't really want to admit?
You have
oh
to.
my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Lightning. No.
Lightning. I can't. This one's a hard one. Okay. I really
keep
don't
the
know.
list
I
very
know the
short of
lyrics
what
for
she
this.
can.
Okay.
That's it.
Disturbia. I'm just gonna
Very
go with
wide.
that song because that's
Disturb me, okay.
Okay, we'll go on to another one. How about that?
it's a weird song.
Okay. You'll probably have an answer for this one. Which artist would you most like to perform with or record with?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Probably NDRE. I love her voice.
Which band that's no longer around would you have liked to have seen live? No longer playing. Never going to happen.
I don't know. Destiny's Child.
Destiny's
Oh,
Child.
okay.
That's a good one.
Just make
Okay.
sure Beyonce's listening.
This
to
might be a little bit quicker for you. Pizza or tacos?
pizza.
Wow.
We got
Two for two.
Pizzas, 2 for 2. We're going to skip that one.
Yeah, good idea.
Most embarrassing moment.
Oh my god.
And it doesn't have to be related to music. It could just be anything.
Okay. Okay, the most embarrassing moment. Okay, so one day I was playing with my friends outside and we were near the basketball court. And I was playing basketball and the funniest thing happened where I was so close to making a shot. I was like, "Yes, I finally have an open space to make a shot." And two people ran into me and I didn't make the shot and the other team grabbed the ball and made it. And that was my team was like, "What are you doing? You messed up our whole score. Now they're ahead of us." I'm like, "Sorry."
Okay, one more question for you. Have you ever been caught talking to yourself?
Basically every day.
You have a big conversation with yourself every day?
I can sometimes be on the playground walking by myself and be like, "How much homework do I have today? I don't know. I have math, science, social studies. I don't know. Let's see." And my friend walks by. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I can't talk to myself.
Oh, so you own it.
I can't. Really?"
It's only a problem when you start
Be like,
arguing
"I've
with
seen you
Right,
talk
yeah,
to
there
yourself.
you go, yeah.
I've seen you talk to yourself many times."
Mm.
They'd be like, "Okay."
Because usually I just say I was singing. I wasn't talking
I
to
was
myself.
singing.
Yeah, but
That's
you
what
own
I
it.
do. That's what I do. Sometimes I'm like I'm talking and I'm saying fettuccine tonight or rice hey da 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 da. I'm like, I'm singing.
Play it off.
They'd be like, "No."
Working on some lyrics.
Nice.
Like, I'm working on my
So now
lyrics.
you always
Natalie,
have
come
that
over here.
excuse. You can always use that.
Well, that is Leahlani, and we want to thank you for stopping by and doing this with us. This was
Anytime.
so cool for you to come by and share your experiences with us and tell us what you're up to. And I actually have one more question for you. Do you have any advice for any other kids your age who might be trying to start out in music or who are kind of doing it? Do you have any advice for any of your
Yes.
peers?
And this is big. The minute you think about something and you've done it so much and you've pushed yourself over and over again and you feel like you haven't accomplished it and you cry every day about it and say, "I don't think I can ever do this," just remember you can do anything. And remember that no matter what you do, you'll always succeed. That's what I say. Like if I do bad on my math test but I studied, oh well. I did my job. I studied. And if I didn't get the credit for my math test, that's called trying and making mistakes, which is funny because I have another song named Mistakes.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to sometime, getting you back to the Altadena Sound Studio, and at some point recording you. Maybe we can help, put some of that together while your band grows and learns. And you may not even know who that band's going to be yet. It might be the kid sitting in the back of your math class who you're like, that guy seems
Weird,
strange and ridiculous. He's probably going to be a good musician. That dude might end up being a player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do have an open invitation anytime you'd like to come back.
Anytime.
Anytime. As long as you do your homework and you do good in school.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right?
As long
But
as you're
priorities.
trying.
Priorities.
And don't stay up too late.
She couldn't come here until she finished her homework today.
I'm sorry, I had a couple
Motivation.
science questions.
Hey,
great.
yeah,
Can't walk away from that. I mean,
Absolutely
I tried. My mom's doing my homework.
Next time,
Glad we didn't say the name of your school, yeah?
we'll have to edit that out, right?
Well, we want to thank you once
No,
again
you
for
can
stopping
keep it.
by.
You can keep it.
We want to thank you again for stopping by, Leahlani, and thanks to John for bringing her. We know she couldn't drive herself over
pleasure.
there.
He was
Pleasure,
so
anytime.
tired in the car. It was amazing.
Uh,
I was like, "You're making me want to cry because you look so tired and your eyes are watery."
yeah, I think
He's like, "It's fine. Just don't pay attention to me."
he's thinking next time I'm
driving.
just going to Uber. Let her Uber. it.
Let you and I'll.
Get in the train.
All right.
I'm always happy to follow around.
So right now we have on the line Seth, all the way
Hello.
from Bangladesh right now. How you doing, brother?
I am doing very well.
Yes, and it's great. We were hoping that we were going to be able to get Seth on along with Leahlani, as they have a niece uncle relationship, but also a musical
we do.
relationship. So he knows a lot about that. But really good to get a hold of you. Tell me, what time is it right now in Bangladesh?
It's 12:12. No, wait a minute. What time is it? What time is it where you are?
It is 9:42 p.m. on a Thursday night.
It's 10:43 a.m. on Friday morning here.
So literally right now, when we say Seth is on the opposite side of the world, we're not just talking figuratively like we
No,
usually are.
it's real. It's literal.
It is literal.
I'm on the other side of the world.
So Seth, can you tell us what brought you to the other side of the world?
Love. It was love.
Love brought him to the other side of the world.
I mean, actually, music brought me there first, but then I guess love kept me here.
That's a nice little lyric you got going there.
Yes, music brought me, but love kept me.
And so what are you doing over there?
Well, I do lots of things. I mean, music is the main thing that I do, but I also run a venue that has been, in the last 6 months, has recently opened up in Dhaka city called Jatra Biroti. And it's on top of it's on the roof of a building. And we put a little tent up there and set up a little PA and put some lights, and it looks really nice. And so now we have gigs there every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so when I'm not playing or doing shows or just generally surviving as a musician, I'm on the weekends running this venue, me and a couple other fellas. And it's pretty great, man. It's a lot of fun. It's funny to be on the other side funny to be on the other side of trying to make music stuff happen. So all of a sudden, at the end of the night, when you're like paying everybody and there's no money left, and you're like, oh, let's see, who can we gouge? Oh, I know, let's gouge the musicians.
Yeah, to be on the flip side has got to be quite a thing. Of course, I have here Rich and Francis too, and I know they got
Rich,
some
Yo,
questions.
Francis.
Seth.
Hey, what's up, Seth?
So,
So Seth, I wanted to ask you, when you're over there, are you incorporating like the local music into
better
like
believe it.
Western music that we all have kind of grown up with around here, or is it?
Of course. You have to understand also that the music that we grew up with around there is ubiquitous around the world. So everybody in the world listen to Pink Floyd. Everybody in the world know who Jimi Hendrix is. Everybody in the world know who all of this music is, and so they know it there. One thing about the venue that I'm connected to is, and whenever I play music, is there's a like this is the land of prolific lyricists. I mean, really prolific. Like there's a guy named Rabindranath Tagore who wrote literally thousands of songs, and there's another cat named Lalan who, I mean, these people literally wrote thousands of songs, and the way that the music is around a lot of times in this part of the world, there's no compartmentalization of like, well, I do music now, and now I go to my job, and a lot of because the music is it's like a part of life. It's a lifestyle type of thing, and the thing that Bangladesh really has is that the folk music is a really powerful philosophical kind of lifestyle thing where people's because Bangladesh is a delta. It's like has India on one side, it has Myanmar, which was Burma, on the other side. It has Nepal to the north. So it's surrounded by all. It's an Islamic country. It's a 90% Islamic country, but it has this Buddhist influence. It has this Hindu influence. So it's a mishmash. It's the delta. So consequently, the music and the philosophy of the folk musicians is really unique because it combines all of these things. And generally, in a part of the world where people define you by, oh, are you a Hindu? Are you a Muslim? What are you? A lot of the philosophy in the music is that they are none of these things. They are beyond. The word is for human is manush. So a lot of times people say, well, what are you? Are you a Hindu? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Christian? Are you a Jew? And the answer is I'm a human. I'm like, and so it's really interesting the combinations of philosophies and how they all kind of wrap up into the music and consequently the folk musicians and the folk instruments are things that I seek out all the time. Unless I'm doing a very specific gig where someone say wants like Chicago blues or something, then I just do it as a normal setup. But whenever it's just me making the choice and I'm setting up the gig or something, I always call there's a percussion instrument called the dole. I always call a dole player. I always call a dotar player, which is a very simple stringed instrument. And so these things, they just sound so funky to me. Everything is really funky, and it's not only just like a cool philosophical talk, but the truth is how it manifests in the music is that it's really funky. The beats are really funky. What they're saying is really funky. They're saying very intricate and elaborate things in very simple ways, and to me that's really cool. Any great songwriter is someone who can take a really complex idea and express it really simply. And I think that goes with not just songwriting, but also playing as well. Anybody, if you listen the other day on your podcast, you were talking about Prince. And one of the great things about Prince's music is that Prince is very, he knows all the theoretical stuff and he does all the things, but if you listen to his music, he takes very simple elements and plays and arranges them so fantastically, so that by the end you've created this, masterpiece of, arrangement. So I think that anybody who can take complex ideas and make them come out simply is doing something pretty interesting. I think.
I wanted to ask you, being that it is kind of so different, both rhythmically different and also kind of tonally different. What was the biggest kind of challenge? What did you find the most challenging out of it? The rhythmic side or more?
Most challenging thing is getting everybody in tune.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the most challenging thing because this guy plays the flute and his face is the tuner. This other guy plays the dotara and he's like anywhere. So getting everybody in tune a lot of times is for me because I'm like I got my little tuner and I'm all tuned up, but my little tuner tunes me up and I'm nowhere near the rest of the band. So I gotta I'm at D and a half. I don't know what
Now, is this Western tuning, or do they also have like different type of tuning? Where they would use quarter tones or anything like that?
It depends. Sometimes you tune to the singer. Sometimes the singer sings like their root note, and we got to tune to that. But a lot of times people just say to me, everyone, D or C sharp, because the music in this part of the world is melody and rhythm. They don't really mess around with harmonic thing changes too much, and so you can say, well, a singer can be in D. I can be in D all night long. I can play in D all night long, because that's just the singer. That's where their voice is at, and they don't mess with harmony. They mess with the intricacies of the melody. So in a melody, you can have major and minor and all kinds of really interesting and fun and strange little notes that can go. So the challenge for me is to listen to the melody and try to incorporate my, the guitar, what the guitar can do with the kind of rearranging the harmony a little bit and just bringing the whatever elements that I have to the table. And I've encountered that people are really, especially the folk musicians, are really open-minded in, hearing what it is, hearing a different instrument. They're so used to hearing just themselves that it's fun for them. I don't find any like, oh, well, you don't play the dotara, so we can't have you. Usually people are really excited to have me come and play. As a matter of fact, if they see me and my guitar, then I'm stuck on stage all night. Stuck.
So how many other out there, how many people are playing what we would consider more traditional instruments, guitar, piano,
Everybody in
a
the
full
world plays
kit?
guitar. Everybody in the world plays. The guitar is the guitar is now a world instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the world play electric guitar. And in this part of the world, everybody really love electric guitar. And they love like heavy metal guitar around here. They love like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai and these kind of characters, of which I told my little homies that I hang out with a story. They're all telling me about Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, who I think are great, and they're fantastic, stellar musicians. I don't mean to bring them down with my little story here, but like I went to the first G3 concert in New York that was like Eric Johnson, Steve Vai, and Joe Satriani. I went to the concert, and it was all dudes. And so that's what I told all my friends. It's like, okay, guys, these guys are awesome. I love them, but, I don't know. And then you go to a Prince concert, and it's a little different crowd.
Yeah.
So, no offense. It's all good. I think these guys are amazing. I love Frank Zappa music, so Steve Vai played with Frank Zappa, so it's great. These people are incredible. But I don't know. That's not the gig that I'm trying to create.
So
That's their hard.
can you just describe a couple of the non-traditional instruments that, for
Sure.
us, that we wouldn't be so familiar with, and maybe some people listening that you might find over there?
Sure. Okay, so like, say for example, you have your average like folk musician. Usually the singer uses a one-string instrument called the ektara, which an ek means one, so it literally has one string, and it just plucks the root notes, so down, down. So that's like their a lot of these people, because it's about the lyrics and the philosophy. They just need a root note. So this is kind of performs the job as the root note. So it's called an ektara. Also, another instrument
Seth?
called dotara,
Seth?
which is dui means two. So dotara has two strings.
Seth, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to interrupt you for a second. The one-string instrument sounds perfect for me. I think,
What's that?
Can you send me one of those one-stringed instruments? Once I get past that
Sure.
one string, I get all confused and
Yeah,
end
that's
up
a good
having
start
issues.
for all of us. It's a good transition from the bass.
Yeah, he gets rather confused easily on that
All
thing.
bass players.
And then he decides to get one with more strings than he needs, 5, 6, whatever.
I'm sorry to interrupt. That's terrible protocol. Please.
No, that's fun. Come on.
So go on.
Yeah. So you have the aktara, you have the dotara, the dotara is usually like the rhythm instrument, and because they use, how we have do re mi fa sol la ti do.
Yes.
They have a thing that it's the same, but it's like sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So, and once sa is established, or the one or the root note, then you know everything else is. So if sa is D, there you go, sa, ha. And so what the dotara is usually doing is playing sa and pa. Pa is the 5, so it's 1 and 5. It usually plays the 1 and 5, and then plays the melody, usually along with the singer. So the dotara is kind of like the rhythm guitar. And then the drum instrument is called the dhol, D-H-O-L. And on one, it's a really amazing. It kind of looks like a little barrel that sits sideways, and on one side, on the right side, they have a mallet that they play to get the low, like doom doom doom. And the high end, they put these little thimbles on their finger on their left hand, or it could be reverse here, maybe the right hand, and to get the pow pow, like the bass and the snare kind of thing. And also the flute is like the bamboo flute, not the metal flute, like the bamboo flute. And the interesting thing about the bamboo flute is they can bend the notes, and that's a really important thing because in this music, I was lucky enough to hang out with Ravi Shankar for a long time, and he told me that in Indian music or music of South Asia, there's no angle. All the notes are curved. They all have a little curve to it. So this bending of the notes is a really important part. And also, just like in the blues, when you bend the string, it has a vocal quality. It has some sort of vocal quality to it. So this is a big part of it as well. So that's kind of like a basic setup: dol, dotara, ektar, flute, singer. There you go. That would be like your basic folk band.
Nice.
And you would include your guitar in that as well?
What's that? Say again?
You would also include a guitar in that as well, or anything else?
Well, I mean, no, not in a traditional setting.
Okay.
In a traditional setting, there's no guitar.
Okay.
But nowadays, there's all guitar and everything. And
Right.
I'm because I get to run this venue, I get to horn in on all gigs. So I'm on everything. I'm on every gig, and it's fun. It's fun, and they like it too. A lot of the musicians, they really like having it. But traditionally, there's no guitar in any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I know. I always tell the bar owner I love it when he sits in too.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, play your harmonica. Yeah, we love it.
Oh yeah,
we
sure.
love
That's
it.
Great. Thanks, bro. You want to sing?
Come on,
Yeah, you sound
sit down
great.
on the kit while you're at it too.
Yeah, let's do. Why don't you play the drums and sing Mustang Sally?
Yeah.
It's a great idea. While you're in the back before the end of the night, you're looking how to stiff the band $50.
Well, now you
That's
know
me.
how it is, right? Now
I
that's
know.
your position, yeah?
Now I know exactly how it is.
Dude.
You say things like, "Yeah, man, you're musicians. What do they care? They don't care. They're just glad to do this."
Yeah. Think of it as an opportunity.
Think of it as exposure. Are you
Yeah.
looking for
Experience and
That's what you wanna do.
opportunities.
That's great.
Yeah, that experience and opportunity.
That's right. That's what we're all looking
You,
for.
you
in
get to
this.
experience me taking my advantage of you.
So Seth, I want to piggyback. I mean, we're looking to piggyback this this along with the same episode that Leahlani's on. Unfortunately, we couldn't get you both on at the same time, but I'm hoping that this could be a recurring discussion, the Talk to Seth discussion. You think we could
Sure.
make that work for this? Because I have, I should have said this in the beginning. Seth is one of my very best friends from forever. We grew up in a little town in northern Michigan together, and experienced a lot of interesting things growing up together, and played music together and everything else. And Seth has had a fairly amazing journey musically, well, just his life, but also musically. And so we could literally go on for hours and hours and hours. So we're going to need some more time. So can we do this again?
Yes, please. That would be.
I do want to
Love-
finish, though, with one question, because I know this is
Okay.
going to take a little time. And I know at least Rich is going to have some things to chime in, and maybe Francis. And I
Sure.
know this came in from Seth. Probably no relation to Seth. When I saw it, I was like, oh,
It
okay.
has nothing
Seth.
to do with it.
And I have just one question on this. Is Public Enemy the greatest rap group of all time?
That is my question.
Well,
I mean, I didn't write that.
I mean, whoever this Seth is, he tuned right into our teenage angst from Yo Bum Rush's show.
Yes.
So what do you think?
My personal opinion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Sure. I mean, the best of anything is a ridiculous thing to say because music is a mission, not a competition. So there's no best. Best is a joke. But the truth is, for me, like I can't think of, when I think of old school hip hop, a lot of it is kind of fallen by the wayside because it sounds kind of like Tinker Toys compared to like the rhyme styles and the sonic soundscapes that go on today. But to me, the music that remains from all of that is the Public Enemy music, not just because of the strong things that it's saying, but also the literal music itself is like still really vibrant to me, and really, I don't know, man, and it's just it's something I feel good about. It's something that makes me feel good, and I like to share it with as many. If anybody asks me, hip hop music is my first love of music, and like Chris said, when we were growing up in northern Michigan, this was like our, that was like our first love of music, and to be able to like that music really means a lot to me, in that because it really says powerful things, it really says really strong things, and it's brought forward in such a unique and interesting way, and so to me, I can't, that's who I say when people say, oh man, listen, I hate rap. And what should and I go, well, you should check out Public Enemy, and then they really hate me. But to me, I don't know. I love Public Enemy. Everything about Public Enemy, I love it.
It's great. That I have to preface this whole thing. Seth just within the last 2 days uploaded a picture of him and Nora, Leahlani's mom, with Chuck D. And so it was a loaded question that I kind of knew the answer to.
Yes.
It was always one of our favorites. Rich, what do you think about Public Enemy?
Boy, it's really hard to argue with what Seth is saying here. I mean, you get me on any given day, and I might say Public Enemy. I might say Rakim. I might say, Tribe Called Quest.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He saved it for third, but that's really Rich's number one. I know it is.
Tribe Called Quest is great. It's just too great. I mean, everything about them is great, man. They're actually more kind of in line with like the musician type of folks because of all their jazz influence and all their
exactly.
They definitely have that musical thing, and of course just how they're musical in the way they rap. The way Q-Tip raps. There's a really musical quality to all of that music. Public Enemy is a little more like punk rock. It's a little more like. It's like,
they were a lot more rebellious. That and you got the whole show with the S1Ws and that whole thing. They had so much more of a message at that time than a lot of the other rappers and hip hop bands, rap groups, etc. But just 2 days ago, I was just listening to a little bit of Public Enemy. I was listening to "Party for Your Right to Fight." And you know what I mean? You can't get that beat out of your head. As soon as you start listening to that, I mean, there it is. If you ask me right then after that, that's my favorite rap band. And I don't know. It's hard to argue with you, but you're right. It's.
But like we said, there is no favorite. Music is a personal thing. One person can listen to it and go, oh, that's the greatest thing I ever heard. The next person go, oh, that's just garbage. That's the thing about music is it's a personal journey. It's a personal journey.
It's hard for me to listen to musicians say that is garbage. I would hope at some point people go, maybe that's not for me, or I don't dig it as much.
Yes.
But artists, anyways, we got to wrap it up tonight, Seth. But we're gonna definitely do this again. You can look for Seth on future episodes, talking with Seth. Maybe we'll even come up with like a catchy jingle or something.
Yeah,
Seth would come up with a catchy
Seth would be
jingle.
great at that. Come on, Seth.
It's really hot in Bangladesh. Hey, Seth, he's always sweaty. He's always sweaty in Bangladesh. Hey,
That's
There
perfect.
it is.
There it is.
It is right there. Seth, do you have anything you want to plug, or any way that somebody can find you
not
online or
really.
anything?
I want to plug Tune Up and Jam. So I want to give a shout out to all my homies with Tune Up and Jam. And I give a shout out to all my Bangladeshi cats. And I give a shout out to all my India people. We'll give Nepal some love. They've been shook up a little bit here
no doubt.
the last little while. And we're going to just extend love to all my family, all my people in Los Angeles, all my people in New York, all my people around the world, all my peoples. Just giving a shout out to everybody. Love you. Thank you to Tune Up and Jam for having me come on the show. I look forward to many segments in the future.
You got it. We're definitely going to have you back on. And once again, that is Seth. Seth is over there on the other side of the world, and we thank him for joining us. And you all can get a hold of us at podcast@tuneupandjam.com. You can leave us a message. You can give us a message to relay to Seth. I'm sure Seth would love to hear from everybody. That is tuneupandjam.com, our website. Facebook, you can check us out there. Like us, spread the word. We thank you for spreading the word to anybody and everybody. Tell them, hey, Seth is inviting you. We're inviting you. We all want to hear from you. You have anything to ask us, just get to us. All right, I guess that's it. Let's wrap this one up. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.